probably do, because you always do.
Oh, wait.
It's you. Good.
Curses!
Good.
No!
I'm glad you have it.
Ah!
Yeah.
But I liked it when you were dealing with the shaky mic.
No.
I don't want to deal with the shaky mic.
I don't like dealing with the shaky mic.
Oh, well, Jamie, we can start whenever we want. I already hit the play button.
Oh,
the
my.
record button.
Holy
now, it's
shit.
not like we can just edit this out. We don't have to.
Yeah, because this is pretty trash.
Yeah, this is low quality content.
Well,
I apologize to you, Jamie, and maybe our audience.
yeah. Is it, Austin, is it episode 26?
You know, that's not funny anymore.
But is it 26?
Oh, yeah, it is 26.
Yeah.
That was like a legitimate question.
That was legitimate.
Oh, I thought you were mocking me.
No. I'll like condescendingly ask you what episode it is every
I know.
time now.
You know, what's the worst part?
I got it wrong once, remember?
Did you get it? Maybe you did get it wrong too.
A couple weeks ago.
Now,
Yeah.
I will say this, Jamie. There's nothing worse. Tell me this. Is there anything worse than somebody just constantly rubbing something in your face for too long?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's
Well,
not fun.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a socially awkward thing where they just don't
is.
get it.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, read a room, man. This is like, it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, no, they saw it on TV once and they're like, I'm just going to mill this out for months.
Yeah. Hey, Austin, you don't know what episode this is,
I
do
come
ya?
to hang out with your family.
Idiot.
Hey, Austin, what episode are we on?
Hey, Austin, what time is it? Or can you even tell time?
Because you're that dumb.
Because you're
Get
a big
it?
dummy. Because you always get everything wrong.
Do you want to just say we've technically started now?
Yeah.
Guys, welcome to Real Neighbors.
Real-
We started at some point in there.
Yeah. Hello.
I'll just drop you guys in there at some point, like a little hot drop.
You should stop. You should start it right during that voice crack you just did.
That's the first.
Hello.
Was it a voice crack?
I heard a little one.
Mine's
Mine's been doing it lately too.
What part? The vocal cords?
The cracking, yeah. You know, some people crack their knuckles. I'm just out here cracking my vocal cords.
Cracking the cords.
Cracking my vocal cords.
Welcome to Real Neighbors.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got to be careful because I do worry that if you keep doing it on purpose,
It just happens
it
more.
will start happening more. Yeah.
Is that true? I don't know.
Oh, it's 100% true. With no backing research.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you feel that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, what about that? Like, there's like a Simpsons voice actor who his whole character is to talk like that. Do you think he just can't help it now? You know that like teenager from The Simpsons?
Oh yeah.
Or what's the one thing? He's like, we're out of the secret sauce. Leave some mayonnaise in the sun.
I don't remember that.
Oh.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, but that's like his whole voice on the show. So do you think now he just struggles to talk normally?
Maybe not anymore. Wait, is he still on the show?
I don't know. I don't watch The Simpsons.
Yeah, I haven't. I can't. Probably 8 seasons.
Yeah.
I've probably not watched the Simpsons episode in 8 seasons.
Yeah.
Whoa, Jamie, this is why we should be doing warm-ups.
Why?
I'm just like, blah, 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 blah.
What do you mean?
I'm not doing the words correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm saying sentences and it doesn't sound right.
I know.
Now I'm really emphasizing words.
I know. I feel like sometimes I listen to these and I'm like, oh yeah, we seem to be pretty coherent. And other times, I don't really judge. It's kind of like you're your own worst critic. I don't really focus that much on you. I always think you sound normal. But I notice myself when there's been times where I'm like, that was not even a complete thought that I just said. And somehow I just assume you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, right? And then you're like, yeah. And then I'm just like, I didn't even finish.
Now, to be fair, I get it.
Right.
It might not seem like I get it, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Like there was I don't remember which one, but I listened back and I was like, because like, you know, just huge ego, just always like, how does this sound? I'm just kidding. It's not like, definitely not an ego thing. It's just I'm just seeing how they work out. But
Wait, is it ego if you're worried that you are performing poorly?
yeah, I guess that's just
Isn't that
common.
insecurity?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to have. Can you be egotistical and insecure?
I think
could.
so.
You
think
can.
so.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I don't really go into it. I listen to it not assuming it's going to be bad, so I wouldn't necessarily say it's insecurity. But I'm just saying there are times where I will listen and I'll be like, that was not a complete thought, and I just cut the sentence off almost, like very mumbly at times. So, you know, got to work on that, man.
I know. I've already been mumbling too.
Yeah.
You know, it really does impress me, and the more that we get into this, the more it does. I look back, like when I'm watching Bill Burr or any of those like comedians that are always on stage.
Yeah.
They're very succinct.
Yeah.
See, I can't even.
There you go.
I can't even say that word. God.
Ah.
I need to. I actually really think that we should start doing warm ups before though.
Oh yeah.
Here's the thought. But so when you're watching these guys, they're very, very. They say they're very explanatory and say the words really well.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know how they do it, but I think it gets to a point where it's built in. So I'm hoping in a year and a half, we're going to just be machines of verbalization.
Oh, definitely. I think like speaking is definitely like a skill. It's like it's one of those things. If you don't use it much, then it's you know, it's kind of becomes second nature to speak the more you do it. I'm sure. So I'm sure, yeah, like comedian stuff. I'm sure they like do practice their set, obviously. So yeah, I definitely think that would be a good idea.
Oh yeah. When it comes to the sets, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
By the time it gets to they record it for Netflix or some sort of special, they've refined that gig 100 times at a bunch of different bars.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They go from like to these little local bars in town.
Yeah.
They throw out some material to see how it goes, and then they kind of keep recycling it and reusing it. So, but yeah, by the time they actually get on stage, they have memorized it and have basically found out through feedback what the funniest parts are. Like, oh, you should have spent more time here.
Yeah.
Or that wasn't that interesting. You should probably just keep emphasizing that part and shit like that. Meanwhile, we don't do any of that. So
No.
mediocre storytelling.
We come in voice cracks and all, and we lay it down on the mic.
Hey guys, it's the sing.
There's Jamie. How's it going? But yeah, man.
But then again, wouldn't it be endearing if we were just, two nice Canadians mumbling away on a podcast? People can barely understand us.
Dude, that's what it is.
Well,
yeah.
I suppose so.
Yeah. So yeah, here we are. We're in the cabin. It's definitely usually we're kind of cold out here, but it's a nice warm day.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
We're very close.
I usually light a little candle to set the mood, but I feel like the candle would be too hot.
It would add a lot of temperature.
Yeah.
We're talking maybe a raise of 2 degrees.
Yeah, and I would be
and
sweating.
That's Celsius.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's a lot of temperature, am I right, guys?
It'd be cooking us alive if I lit a candle.
I didn't do a lot of science in school, but that's a lot of temperature.
I think just looking at fire would make me feel hotter, though, wouldn't it?
Well, that's debatably not true because typically when you're looking at a fire, you are somewhat close to the fire, which is radiating heat.
Right.
So it's to argue that it's a placebo effect is probably not true, because it's probably emitting heat even at that distance.
Do you think if you were like freezing to death out in like the middle of nowhere and you had a candle, you think someone's ever survived purely off the warmth of a candle, like just hovering over
in
it?
an internal space? Maybe.
Yeah.
If you can contain that heat and you get a couple extra degrees out of it.
Yeah. Someone locks you in a freezer and all you have is a candle.
Oh, well, that would be kind of hard. Yeah. Because the inside is constantly being injected with coolant.
But do you think it would preserve you at least a little longer than if you didn't have a candle?
Probably a little bit longer because you could like put your hands just over like the candle and almost burn yourself.
Let's try this, Austin. Here's the thing, Austin.
Jamie, are you really gonna say let's both go in a freezer and
lock ourselves
you
in
get
there?
a candle and I don't?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you win, Austin. I
Hey.
get a little heat source. You don't get one. Okay, I guess you win. I don't know.
A dibs on being the one with the candle.
No, I'm not gonna take that bet.
Yeah, but no, man. We've been talking about saying we want to make like more videos. Let's do that. Let's just lock ourselves in real neighbors freezer challenge with a candle. See who dies.
We start having
the slowest.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We
putting in a lot of effort for the craft,
Oh yeah, and only one of us makes it out alive.
Yeah.
And then you just start a collab with someone else.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll go over and you'll join Canucky Fried.
Yeah. Go join Canucky Fried.
My buddy died, so
yeah, I gotta join my brothers.
It was a good video though. I edited it and everything. It was pretty fun.
And I think I would survive if I'm the one with the candle.
Oh well, yeah. Sorry, man. You're gonna win.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, now think of it though. What if it's a stretch? Like, could you survive in a freezer for 24 hours with just a candle? That would be the question.
Yeah. Depends.
Not if you can beat someone else that's freezing to death without one.
Depends how big the candle is too.
Oh, now we're gonna start really getting into logistics here.
Can you survive with nothing but a lighter and a pack of cigarettes? You just light them all on fire. Actually, apparently you can burn crayons for a long time. I heard that, like in an emergency, you can use crayons as like kindling, basically. Fun fact.
Why would you have crayons?
I don't know. If you're like trying to survive in a kindergarten class.
That sounds great, but I can't even remember the last time I saw a crayon in
Really?
person.
Yeah.
How often do they come along? Did you stumble upon crayons on a weekly basis? Are your siblings old enough to?
I definitely don't see them very often, no.
I don't see crayons anymore, man.
But hey, like again, yeah, what if you're like trapped in a grocery store during the apocalypse or a kindergarten class?
If I was stuck in Loblaws, I would go for the firewood. I wouldn't burn crayons. I immediately go, guys, did you hear crayons burn for a long time? And I just
Yeah.
run over to the kids section instead of walking over to like the where all the firewood is.
God damn it. I feel like I just Seth Rogen laughed at that. You're like, I would go for the firewood. I'm like, yeah.
So that I'm going to go ahead and say that is just about a completely useless fact.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody benefits from that information.
Well, I don't know. If it's in the back of your mind, if you happen to be around crayons, they do exist, man. They're out there.
Oh, crayons, yeah, they stumble across. But if I'm in the jungle trying to survive, I'm going to put my money down that I'm not going to see crayons. I'm probably going to see wood.
Yeah. I don't know. What if there's some like kid who like lives in the jungle and he just happens to have crayons he's coloring?
Well, he's going to run out eventually.
Yeah, I guess
Can you get crayons from the jungle?
I'd feel like a dick taking some jungle kids' crayons.
Does he pluck his crayons off trees? If he has any left, you're an asshole for taking them.
That's true. I just is jungle kid a bad? Is that like not a nice?
You know what?
It almost sounds offensive. I wasn't trying to say it like that.
Wait,
kid
are
who
you
lives in the
saying-
jungle.
Are you saying it's a good band name? That's what I thought you said.
Jungle Kid is a good band name. Sure.
I think that's a pretty good band name.
that is
Well,
the Jungle Book.
If we ever get around to it, Jungle Kid.
Jungle Kid. Yeah.
Whoa.
There's a lot of good
What about plural? Jungle Kids.
jungle kids. That's cool. I went from saying, "Is this offensive?" to "Let's name a band this."
Is that offensive?
That's a good
Why
band
would
name.
Jungle Kid be offensive, Jamie?
I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I just don't know. Like it sounds like someone could use it very negatively, but I wasn't. I just don't want to steal this kid's
What
crayons.
are you? So wait, if a kid's playing the playground, another kid will go, "What are you, a jungle kid? Do you climb trees?
Yeah. I don't know. There might be some connotations
Why
there.
don't
I don't
you?
know.
Why don't you get your parents to buy you an iPhone, jungle kid?"
Yeah. I was just eating berries in the woods. I don't know. Burning crayons. That's what he's used to doing.
Wow, this is a high quality tangent.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Actually,
feeling a little enlightened right now.
absolutely. Actually, something weird I've always thought of, if like the apocalypse or just something happened where you were stranded, not necessarily the apocalypse, but yeah, say you're in a survival situation and you had braces. Like, what would you do? Because like, like,
Oh shit!
think about that. Because when I had braces, that thought crossed my mind. I'm like, if society just collapsed all of a sudden, and I had no like societal like like way to get these removed.
Yeah, dude, fuck the braces.
Yeah.
The first thing you do is find like some weird pair of pliers and like manually like
Oh,
fucking
no.
ply them off,
Yank them off.
dude. Because here's the thing, you're not gonna have toothpaste. That's already step one.
Yeah.
Those braces are eventually going to start like
Rusting
fucking
onto your
rusting
teeth.
or mold, like doing all sorts of weird shit, and eventually maybe even become melded to your teeth.
Yeah.
Step
well, they
one
already are melted to your
Is
teeth.
but never coming off.
Yeah.
So step one is fuck the braces.
Yank them off with pliers.
Guess what?
Wouldn't
Your
that
teeth-
cause more damage though initially?
Dude, do your teeth need to be pretty, or do you need enough teeth to eat meat so you
Yeah.
can survive?
Well, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like that would cause damage to remove them with pliers. Because they have to melt. It's like a weird glue that they have to melt.
You probably know more about braces than I do.
Oh yeah,
I've never had braces. You had them.
I
so-
had them. But yeah, I don't know. I always thought like, man, if society just collapsed right now, I'd be screwed. There's no one to remove these braces.
That's what you thought when you were 14? Mm-hmm. You know, it's really interesting how siblings are so similar that, like, your younger sister is at the exact same age and got braces.
Yeah, she has different issues than me though. But yeah, it's it was around the same age. But my older brother never had them. And by the looks of it, my youngest brother, I think his teeth seem to be coming in pretty straight. So
He's doing pretty all right.
yeah, I feel like Jesse and Jake will probably not need them.
You know what? We've actually never talked about it, but I did have perfect teeth.
Yeah.
up until I was 8 years old.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where I was having a backpack fight with a kid,
Yeah.
and he had a
As
rock
one
collection
does.
in his bag.
As one does.
Yeah, and he hit me in the face with the backpack with the rocks in it.
Yeah.
And he knocked half of my tooth out.
Pussy.
My front tooth, I know. I was actually pretty badass though, because guess who cried? The guy who hit me.
Yeah.
He felt bad, so he started crying.
You weren't even in pain. It was just a guilt cry.
I think I was in shock. I didn't really know what happened. I just looked down. I'm like, oh, my tooth's gone.
Yeah.
And dude, after that, low key, that accident cost my parents probably $8,000 to $10,000 in damages. Yeah.
So did they have to? Is it kind of like a giant filling to stick the top of the crown on?
No. The initial thing wasn't expensive. It's
Yeah.
all the eventual repercussions
The
that happened.
therapy you required afterwards.
Oh yeah. Betrayal, like
Yeah.
friendship, all
Yeah.
that stuff. No, it's more that
Irrational fear of backpacks.
it caused a mouth trauma. So eventually I had to get 2 root canals on the actual tooth, then the teeth beside it, then a cyst started growing in my gums.
Oh,
so like
yeah.
all sorts of crazy shit happened because my tooth
Dude.
got knocked out.
I remember that.
And it all happened like in a perfect circle around where my one tooth, everything around it got fucked up.
yeah.
Literally everything.
I do remember that actually because I was like hanging out with you when we were younger. I remember, I think I stayed the night or something, and you were talking about how you had to get like a cyst drained from your gums. And I was like, ooh.
I was 19, I think, 18 or 19.
Oh, yeah.
And that was
Actually, that wasn't even that long ago. Yeah.
well, that was kind of a while ago
actually,
now.
that's true. We're old.
That's 7-8 years ago now.
We're old.
I know.
Yeah.
And we were adults back then too. That's the weird part.
But that's, I guess, what I meant is like the memory to me was like when we were in high school, but I guess we were technically still like adults.
Do you know what the worst part was too?
Yeah.
I was out at Algonquin, the big kind of national park where you can kind of go canoeing and portaging and all that shit.
Yeah. What's
And-
portaging?
Portaging is when you have a canoe and you basically just go between lakes or rivers or wherever you're traveling, and you just carry the canoe with you over your head.
Oh, so it's like the act of portaging is when you're carrying the canoe to another place?
It's like mixing canoeing and hiking
I
at the
see.
same time. That's kind of
Okay.
officially portaging.
Nice.
And
Sounds like a good workout. You
it's a lot of fun. It's a
Yeah.
great experience.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of I still enjoyed myself, but so I was getting what happened with this cyst, okay, is I was getting it every 3 months. And I'll go into detail. It's a little bit graphic.
Yeah. Lay it on us.
Basically, every 3 months, this cyst would grow in my gums. And the dentist described it as every single time it grew, it was eating more of like some of the bone in my gums.
Austin. Ooh, yeah.
And it would grow to like a big size and eventually pop. And
Yeah.
just pus would pour into my mouth.
Ooh.
It was disgusting.
and you're just like,
now, oh yeah, just sip it up like a
drink it
nice espresso,
delicious.
get some caffeine
Yeah.
and free calories. Really,
Yeah. Reusing some of your old
I'm like,
calories.
I'm so efficient.
Yeah. Man lives off cyst pus for months, locked in a freezer with nothing but crayons.
I can do this for weeks, no problem.
Yeah.
So, and because I'm like you, I'm a freaking idiot who just ignores things.
Yeah.
I just let it keep happening. I literally let it happen
Feeling a
for
little
like
attacked.
2 years.
Yeah.
Well, like just how we're both the same way that if something is inconvenient but it doesn't happen
Yeah.
often enough, we just don't care.
That's true. Yeah.
Like if you had the same problem as me, you
I would
probably
ignore
would have
it.
done the same thing and avoided it.
I feel like I'm currently ignoring many medical emergencies in my own body. So that's fair.
We could talk about that afterwards.
I don't
we can
think I
get
should.
into all sorts of.
don't
You're
think
like,
I
I don't want to do that.
I'm
No.
just kidding. No. But yeah, I definitely do. I'm one of those kind of ignore until it's a big
That's what I'm
deal.
saying. We're both similar that way. So
Yeah.
the thing that broke me is I was at Algonquin
Mm-hmm.
and it started to happen. The cyst started to come in. It had been a couple months, so I thought, oh, this is shitty fucking timing.
Yeah.
That this cyst on the first day I'm out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get this cyst growing in, and I think I slept 3 to 4 hours every night. I was in Algonquin for like 4 days.
Wow.
It was fucking brutal. I would just be up at night.
You were in pain?
Because it hurt so bad.
Ooh.
And after that, that's when it finally went from mildly inconvenient to fuck this. The moment I'm getting back, we're getting rid of this
Getting a deal.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Because dealing with it when you're in society is really easy. You just take ibuprofen.
Yeah.
And you just ignore it, and then it pops, and you move on with your life.
Yeah.
I know that sounds stupid, but that was my logic.
Yeah.
But being out in the country doing that, I'm like, this was, I'm
Yeah,
like, why
dude.
the fuck am I dealing with this?
Dude, picture being a jungle kid having to deal with that. You'd have to like pop it with a stick and let it squeeze, express your gums with your
Well,
own.
actually, it pops on its own.
Does it?
It eventually just kind of degrades the front of the skin, and then it just eventually pops.
So was it like a surgery then, and then it never came back?
Yeah, so it was actually quite painful.
Yeah.
They had to. So they had to, and I had two root canals. I think I've had maybe one cavity in my life. I those things don't bother me. I don't really care. I don't like the root
You've only had
canals.
one cavity?
Yeah, I actually have pretty good teeth. The tooth trauma fucked me up, but
I think I've probably had 3. I remember for the longest time of my life, I never had a cavity, and I was like so proud of that. I
Yeah.
think I actually want to say I didn't get my first cavity until I had braces, because maybe I just didn't clean them as effectively when I had braces.
yeah.
So I think my first cavity was actually when I had braces. I could be wrong, but I know I went a long time without having any.
That's when it finally did it, eh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I've done those. They don't really bother me.
Yeah.
Like they don't hurt or anything. It's all the same to me. But the cyst one, they had to like cut open my gums
Yeah.
and then suck out the pus, and then like suck out and then like almost remove like this like fleshy stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
Then they had to pump it full of like a material to make sure it doesn't
Okay.
re-expand or like.
I hope no one's listening to this while eating, by the way.
I know somebody's trying to enjoy their food, and I'm sitting here talking about all sorts of gums
Yeah.
and pus, and
Delicious.
that one was painful. Like
So they filled it with something.
yeah, they filled it with something so it couldn't just keep getting refilled with whatever was doing it.
Okay, weird.
I know. I don't because at that point there was a gap in my gums from it constantly expanding and like degrading my bone.
Yeah.
There was a gap
Okay.
in the structure of my gums. So
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I've actually.
I guess that's why it's painful because
Yeah.
it's expanding and destroying the thing that's in the way.
Oh yeah, I've definitely heard of like cysts coming back. I've actually had like little spots that seem to come back all the time, like little old acne spots that almost like even when it's gone, it's like that area seems to break out again. It's almost like once it happens there, it's like easier. I don't know why.
Yeah,
but
it's
I've
like-
had that before too. Actually,
It's almost like a empty residual cavity in your body that will
Yeah.
just get filled up with whatever was in there before again.
yeah,
I don't know why. I will say this though, I don't have any other experience with cysts.
yeah,
I don't have acne problems.
yeah.
I will say,
That's a very strange one though in your gums, but
I know as far as genetically speaking, I'm pretty damn happy with how things turned out for
Yeah.
me lottery wise.
yeah,
A little bummed out about getting my tooth knocked out.
yeah. Being a little bummed out about genetically being stupid enough to let that happen. I'm just kidding.
Genetic lottery? Well, who's the fucking idiot that let that
Who's
happen?
the dumbass who got hit with a bag of rocks in the face? No. Yeah, that's fair.
I was 8. I was but a boy.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. Actually, so it's funny. I'm going to the dentist tomorrow, which it's the first time I've been in I think 2 years, which that's a long time. It all just crept up on me, and one day I was like, wait a minute, because I used to go like all the time. I used to go for checkups, cleanings, and stuff, and I just realized it's been so long. So
For what it's worth, though, I think a lot of people have not been going to the dentist very often right now.
True. Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, I'm going to tomorrow. So I don't think I have any issues with my teeth though. I don't feel like they're sensitive. I don't think I have any cavities or anything. So should be good. Should be a normal checkup, hopefully. But
Pretty standard as far
Yeah.
as things go.
it's funny because yeah, it's just one of those things I just let myself. I just didn't. I don't know. Just didn't even plan on it, or just totally forgot about the dentist for a while.
Yeah.
But
Oh, by the way, there's something I wanted to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And I waited until the podcast because our friendship revolves around being live in the air now.
yeah, we don't want to spoil it.
Actually,
Real reactions only.
just a heads up. You know, I won't go into detail, but I found it funny that I had this twisted thought earlier where
Yeah.
Jamie was just telling me something like on our personal time.
Yeah.
He was just telling me about something going on in his life, and I would even argue that it's somewhat personal. And then in my twisted brain, I thought he should save this for the podcast.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was telling you something like pretty private, and
in my brain's going, how do I
this is awesome, dude.
People would love this.
People would love to hear this. Save it,
Jamie,
And
don't talk about it now. Talk about it on the
I was like,
air.
dude, I'm just telling you right now. I wasn't going to talk about this.
No, say no more. Say no more.
yeah. I don't know.
That's so bad.
Yeah,
I gotta make sure I shut that off.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things we don't want to run out of stuff to talk about either. So, but it's we don't gotta be like that ridiculous about it either.
That we're just exposing everything.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, actually, or did you have something else you were gonna say?
well, I was going to go into something, but do you
Okay.
have something?
Yeah, because something else because when we were talking about the dentist stuff, it actually reminded me about high blood pressure. So it just reminded me of blood pressure. So
Oh, yes, yes.
because so basically it just reminded me of that because it's one of those things that you even referenced it earlier where you're like some things you just sort of ignore and put off and stuff. So basically, long story short, my mom has this machine that she checks her blood pressure with. Because I think sometimes hers is like a little low or
the
something.
thing that squeezes your arm, right?
Yeah, she has like one of those. So she randomly was like, "Hey, do you want to try this?" And I was like, "Sure." And I was like, "I have no idea what this will be." So I did it. And initially it came back and it was average to high. It was like not super high blood pressure, but it was like just on the cusp of maybe not being good. And I was like, "Oh no." So then I did it like a couple times, and then the one day I did it again because I was just started getting curious, and I got like a really good number, and it was like I was working out a lot around that time, and so I just checked, and it was actually a pretty healthy number, and I was like, all right, that's it. I'm never checking again. I'm gonna go with this.
I got
number.
the blood pressure.
I got the number I like, so I'm just gonna.
I like to call it quits while I'm ahead.
Yeah, I'm like I like that reading. I don't
Say no more, doctor. I checked my blood pressure 7 years ago, and it was fantastic.
It was great, yeah. But no, I don't have high, but it was one of those. It was from what I looked up, it was kind of the regular too high. You know what I mean? Like it's like just
You're up in the high range. You're not in a danger.
not-
you're not in
not
the
a
danger,
danger
zone. I
zone.
think everybody understands what you're saying.
yeah. So it was just one of those things that I did get a reading. I was like, I like this. It sounds like I'm really healthy, so I'm just never gonna check again. I'll definitely probably check again down the road, but it's one of those things that I don't know. I don't know. Do you ever check your blood pressure?
No.
You were
I
yeah.
mean, you know what? Maybe I've done it once, and I can't remember what it was. But it was, once again, it was 6 years ago, and I probably got a good number.
Yeah.
So why would I look
Why
again?
would you ever check again? Yeah. Well, it's one of those things that I think it's more affects older people anyway. Like I think probably in your 20s it's not as crucial to check, but I think when you get
Our
older,
vitality is just too good.
yeah. But I think as maybe people in their late 30s to 40s, it's probably when it starts
Boomers.
the boomers in their 30s.
So old.
Yeah.
It's basically a crime.
But yeah. But that goes with everything. I'm just like I check something. I'm like I like it. Never gonna look again.
That's the secret, guys, right there.
That's a secret to a long life.
A long one, eh?
Mm-hmm.
We've lived a long life. We're in our mid-20s.
Yeah.
We've got it all figured out.
Yeah.
Take our advice.
Yeah. Just ignore all your medical issues.
So, Jamie,
Yeah.
so I moved out of Toronto.
Yes.
And do it the first thing. It was a great introduction back to Sarnia. It's very wholesome.
Yeah.
So the first thing that happens, I move everything back, moving truck and all, and my bike got stolen.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Sarnia, dude.
I know. And it was only out there. It's my fault. Okay, it is my fault.
Welcome home.
And because I left it by the garage, and then I left for 20 minutes to go help my buddy move from his house.
Yeah. That's enough time.
I know. And it was immediately gone. My parents even have the footage
Yeah.
of it being stolen.
Yeah.
It's
What did the person look like? Who did it?
A gray hoodie and a mask. So everybody keep your eyes out for someone with a gray hoodie and a mask.
So somebody who is totally unrecognizable.
He probably knew the camera was there.
Yeah.
He was there's no way to tell who he is.
So a premeditated bike theft.
I know. And you know what? Hopefully the meth is good.
Yeah.
The drugs are nice. I'm assuming that he's not going to donate it to a charity. So.
Yeah, he's like the Robin Hood of bikes. He's like, it's kind of a nice house. He's like, I'm just gonna steal this bike. They look like they could afford another one. Then he donates it to charity.
I know. He fixes it up and donates it to some teenage foster home.
Yeah,
so they can use it to ride around.
The Robin Hood of bikes. Actually, there's a guy who lives in this neighborhood, and he literally sells bikes. He has tons of bikes for sale, and they're so cheap too. And I'm just like, where's this guy get all these bikes? I'm like, but also, would it not be really ballsy to steal bikes and then have them on display outside?
Well, maybe you just give zero fucks.
But
you know what? Now you're making me worried. Maybe we should go get this place. We'll have to get that a look.
Give it a check and
Yeah.
see if your bike's there.
I mean, it's a pretty distinctive looking bike.
Yeah, I think it's more during the summer, but there's literally this place nearby where they always kind of have like a from their house kind of garage sale always going on with tons of bikes, and I'm always like, that's just kind of sketchy to me. Because I even one time was like thinking about buying a bike, and I was like, well, that guy always has cheap ones. I'm like, I don't want some guy to like tackle me riding the bike, be like, that's my bike.
I will say, among thieves,
Yeah.
a bike must be the most universally understood thing in terms of stealing and estimating value. Because do you know why? Like you hear all those stories of these people that they just grab, like they rob a house and they leave the most expensive laptop and
Yeah.
or like some of the stuff that costs the most money is because they have no appraisal assessment. They have no idea how good or expensive something is. So they're just
Yeah.
like. So like they'll walk in and they'll be like, "Oh, this laptop's big. It's probably good," and then
Yeah.
like leave a MacBook Air.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, because bikes are one of those things where you're like, I can probably just sell this for like $50 to $100. It doesn't matter what it is. I'll just sell it for about that.
it's got a chain. Somebody can ride it. They'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
I can sell that for money. That's a fact. Compared to a lot of the bullshit that you'll just steal that you have no idea about, and you're like, "What the fuck do I do with this now?"
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
And these people aren't looking for. Like they're not donating this. They're not putting this money into a savings account.
Yeah.
They're not looking for the future retirement. They're like, I want cigarettes and crack for the next week. What do I do?
Yeah. Seeing a bike on the street, in their eyes, they're like, that's cigarettes and crack for a week.
For a single week, and then I'll do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rinse and repeat.
I don't know, except for bicycle Robin Hood. You don't know. That guy's out there saving the world one bike at a
Man,
time.
that would be so nice. I would be really happy. If there's a replay I could see, you know, if I'm in heaven or something one day, if I could look at the replays and I just see this wholesome guy steal
God-
my bike. And
God's in heaven. He's like, hey, Austin, there's someone I would like for you to meet. So he walks out, the guy who stole your bike.
he's even wearing a gray hoodie.
Yeah, he's still dressed the same. He's like, hey, man, I'm sorry about your bike. I just figured you were a little more well off than the people who I gave it to.
There's one kid at the foster home that had a bad leg, and it was hard for him to walk, so I decided to get him a bicycle, and you just happened to be the target.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, champ.
He's going to be your neighbor here in heaven. You get to spend eternity with this fellow.
I feel like we'd actually get along at that point. I would kind of
yeah.
think, you know what? If you stole to me and
What
did
are
something nice,
material?
what am I supposed
What
to?
are material possessions anyway?
I mean, the bike only cost me $700,
Here
so
in
I mean,
heaven.
it's basically it didn't really cost much anyway. Of course.
Yeah, I don't know. I bought a bike. I was gonna drop probably. It was like 2 years ago. It's right now. I kind of just borrow my dad's because he doesn't really ride it much. So he's like, yeah, you can just ride it because I like biking a lot. But I went to buy my own, and I was willing to spend like maybe 400, 500. Like I was like just a decent one, nothing like crazy either though. And I ended up really cheaping out, which I regretted instantly, and I actually returned it right away. But this is a bad idea. Like I was checking out Canadian Tire and stuff, and I think I saw one at like Walmart, which horrible idea. I bought it, and it was so trash because like the brakes squeaked.
What did you spend, Jamie?
Well, it was only like 100, like 200.
And it's just, dude, you might as well just go to a garage sale at that point.
Oh, I know.
because
It would have been better.
Those
So-
are bottom tier bikes.
It really was. So I rode it for a while, and honestly, it wouldn't have been bad if the brakes weren't shit. Like it was rideable, but the brakes squeaked every time I pushed down the thing. So every time I was stopping, like I feel like the whole world would turn and stare at me because I would be like riding, like, and I'm just like, oh no.
And you know what they're thinking? That guy bought his bike at Walmart.
Yeah. They're all thinking
what
that.
a fucking idiot.
I know. So I returned it like right away and then people were telling me, they're like, you can like fix that, you can just change the brakes. I'm like, I'm not going to bother changing the brakes on like a $100 bike when I can just return it. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not worth like wrecking the potential. Just get rid of it. I was like,
I bought my bike 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and I bought it at a bike shop in Toronto, like a real bike shop,
Yeah.
a local one.
yeah.
And I think the cheapest bikes they sold were probably about $450.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's the cheapest bike you can get at like a bike shop.
Yeah. Which,
And I spent about $700.
Yeah.
And I will say it was really light. Like it weighed like 4 pounds.
yeah,
Like,
nice,
nice
that is the
tight
nice
wheels,
thing.
good brakes.
Yeah, that is the nice thing about like better quality bikes is they're usually a lot lighter. Yeah. Also, but again, I tend to look at it this way. A bike is one of those things you don't want to go too cheap on, but I also wouldn't want to go too expensive on because the risk of it being stolen is always there too. So
I mean, I've had 2 or 3 bikes get stolen, so I'm pretty.
yeah. So it's one of those things where like I feel like there's a good mid ground where it's expensive enough that it doesn't completely suck, but also if you spend too much and it gets stolen, then it's just a waste of money too, right? So
Yeah.
So there's kind of a mid ground for me when it comes to bikes where, yeah, you don't want to go too low or too high, really.
You know, if anything, I do kind of respect the balls of these people because being able to just walk up into someone's like yard and just grab their bike and piece the fuck out,
Yeah,
assuming that nobody's watching you,
I know.
is pretty impressive.
It really is. I don't really get
That
it.
requires a big pair,
Yeah.
which is why, no offense, it is kind of why I assume they're addicts because they're so desperate
Yeah.
that they're willing to risk it all.
Yeah.
Like these people aren't making these risky plays just to have a little extra pocket change between jobs.
Yeah. No, that's very fair. Yeah.
Are you zoning out there, Jimmy? What are you doing?
Oh no, sorry. I was just like reading some little.
You have something else you're interested in. Okay.
Yeah, perhaps.
Well, guys, we're in the middle of a podcast, and Jamie's just going on Instagram. 1 second.
Sorry, my friend just updated it. He just tweeted.
It was pretty funny.
It was
I
a
had
funny
to read it.
It was a funny tweet, but you guys wouldn't get it.
You guys are too fucking stupid.
Yeah. But yes, something funny though. I know last episode you were talking about how you're kind of cutting back on caffeine, and now we're back on that caffeine train.
Well, I'm treating myself, okay?
Yeah.
Don't judge. Don't shame me. So what? I'm drinking a Monster, okay?
Yeah.
God.
No, yeah. Well,
Okay. Well, look. From my position in my defense,
yeah.
I actually have cut out coffee.
Yeah.
I haven't done coffee in the last week now.
Yeah.
I only do black tea, and I've been doing maybe 2 to 3 cups a day.
Yeah.
So you know what? I thought Austin's been a good boy. I gotta treat myself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, exactly. Do you know what's actually funny to me is it took me a while. Apparently, tea does have caffeine. It's less than coffee.
Yeah, significantly less, but there's still caffeine.
There's still caffeine, and my mom's always been a big tea drinker, so it's like kind of funny because I'm like, I guess theoretically she's always just drinking caffeine like all day long.
I used to drink, I think 6 cups of tea per day.
Yeah, which technically that is a lot of caffeine because it adds up.
It really is a lot.
It adds up. But yeah, you're doing like black tea because you're kind of counting calories and
Yeah,
stuff?
I'm counting calories, but I don't actually. I don't do a lot of fats in my food pretty naturally.
Yeah.
So I put milk in my tea,
Okay.
and I measure it out, and I know how much fat's in it. It's really not that much. It's like 2 grams of fat.
Yeah. I don't like sugar in tea, but I would. I think milk is just even just to cool it down.
Oh, I love.
like that.
I don't. Yeah, sugar. I don't care about. I never
No.
do sugar in my tea, but
neither.
I really like milk.
Yeah.
Because I'm like I like bitter, but I like bitter with that like smooth roll to it, which milk gives you.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not big on cream. Even in coffee, I don't like cream. I just like a little bit of milk.
You know what's disgusting? I knew someone who put like. There's this guy who put like 4. When he would go to Tim Hortons, he'd be like 4 cream, 4 sugar. And I'm like, that actually makes me nauseous.
That's not coffee, dude.
No.
Double is barely coffee.
I know double is almost too sweet for me. I'll get a regular sometimes when I'm at Tim Hortons. I just say a regular, which means 1 cream, 1 sugar. But even sometimes I don't even do the sugar. I'm like just 1 cream in it. But yeah, I don't get people who literally will 4 in 1 coffee. That's disgusting.
That's fucked up.
That makes me nauseous just
do
thinking
you,
about
Do you know who else I judge too?
What?
And they already know who I'm talking about because I know who you are.
You know who you are.
You know exactly who you are. Instant coffee people. Instant coffee. I'll do it if I want to avoid getting the caffeine headache.
Yeah.
I'll ingest that shit, but it is fucking trash. And the fact that
good for
somebody
camping.
is too lazy to even bother doing anything but instant coffee.
Yeah.
Literally, all you have to do is buy some shitty ass grind.
Yeah.
And then get a French press.
Yeah.
That is already infinitely superior to instant coffee.
Do you know what?
So people that do instant coffee, shame on you.
You know what's funny? You're calling out my dad right now. For some reason, my dad's always liked instant coffee. Like pretty much, I drink normal coffee. Like pretty much everyone in my family drinks normal coffee. But my dad always has been a fan of like is it Nescafe? Just that instant coffee. He just likes
Oh,
it.
God.
I don't know why he likes it. But
Normie.
yeah,
Dude.
he specifically goes for it. Even when there's other options, he'll drink the instant.
You know, even in my cousin's eyes, I was still a coffee peasant because he used to be a barista. So he hand grinds his beans. Like he has like a hand grinder.
Yeah.
He hand grinds
Made
it,
of
then he puts it
solid
into
gold.
and then he puts it into his drip.
Yeah.
And his drip's really expensive as well.
Oh yeah.
So he has like a whole process, and it takes him a little bit. But he's like, this is the ideal coffee.
Yeah.
I do what I do. I buy beans and I crush them in a grinder and I put it in a French press.
Yeah.
Which to him is peasantry.
Right. What does he think of like Keurigs or Tassimos or
Oh,
whatever?
trash.
He doesn't like those.
Although I think they're kind of trash too. So.
They are convenient for what it's worth, but I do think technically there's a better taste if you just like have a whole pot made. I think it's a lot richer of a taste. But Keurigs are very convenient.
They are convenient.
Not gonna lie.
I'll tell you this though, Jamie.
Yeah.
Like, and I would recommend this to a lot of people. If you're lazy about coffee,
Yeah.
just buy some pre-grind and put it in a French press.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the best coffee ever, but it's definitely better than anything that is lazier than that.
Yeah.
And it's not that much extra work.
No.
You know?
Well, okay. On the topic of instant coffee, that is nice for camping. It is convenient if you're camping. Instant coffee.
Okay.
You boil some water like over a fire and just kind of mix it in.
you can also do that with the French press though. In fact, I'm pretty sure my friends did that. They just brought a French press.
Okay, wow.
Dude, all you have to do is boil the water, put the grind in the French press, and then put the boiling water in. It's like an extra
Yeah.
step. Instant coffee is skipping a single step, which is the French press, and that's it.
You ever know those people who are just very eccentric just with everything they do? Like you ever meet people like that who just everything they do is just a little extra?
Do you mean in everything they do?
Like
because
most things.
a lot of people have their.
They have their odd eccentricities, yes, but I would say so I'll say his first name, and I'm not like this isn't like he's a cool guy. I actually think it's really interesting. My friend Nick, I just remember back in the day I used to hang out with him, and he's always been into like the most random things. Like he introduced me to weird things that I probably would have never seen anybody do in front of me except for with him. But I'll give
who is this again?
His name's
Context
Nick.
for me.
His name's Nick. You might have met him. I don't want to say a last name.
Okay, yeah, I might. Oh yeah, I've met him. Yeah.
So he first off, the one thing which I think is kind of gross, but I mean to each their own. But there's a thing called snuff, which apparently they sell it at corner stores, but it's literally like tobacco that you like snort. Like you literally lightly put it up your nose and it gives you a head buzz. And they
still sell that.
Yeah, and it's there's some culture it must be popular in because I think he's really into like Russian culture and stuff. But that was the first time I ever saw someone do that because I watched him like do it at a bar. So I'm just like kind of like I was like, what did you just snort? And he's like, oh,
it's snuff, bro.
He was like, it was snuff. He's like, oh, tobacco. And I was like, oh, I literally just thought he was just like getting high, like right there at the. And I was like, he's pretty like carefree about that, just doing it out in the middle of the bar.
There's like a waitress. He's ordering food. He just like
not
puts like a drug up his nose.
Yeah, I think most people are like
stuff.
Snorting stuff is gonna hide it a little more. I was like, what is this guy doing?
I'll take a beer.
Yeah.
Oh!
But anyway, yeah, it's tobacco, and I this is gross, but I think I tried it just out of curiosity a tiny bit, and it's gross. It just burns your nose. I was like, nah, it was.
You know what, Jamie? You always got to experiment, and I respect that.
Yeah, it was. I don't know, not something I would ever buy. But anyway, so there's stuff like that. But he also was into Turkish coffee, it's like I think that's what it was called. It was like Turkey.
Well, it's very specific.
Yeah, basically, it was this weird, specific pot he cooked coffee over, and the coffee would foam up on top and kind of droop back down. And I tried it, and it was very unique taste, and it was like the way it was cooked almost had more of a smoky flavor than most coffee. It was really good. But again, I was like, I feel like I would have never tried this if it weren't for hanging out with him, because like again, he just a lot of eccentricities that a lot of people don't really
but it also comes down to that once we have a pattern, like people, we don't why change the grain?
Yeah.
Like if like the reason why like your dad keeps drinking instant coffee is because that's what he's always done.
Mm-hmm.
And it works, so why would he change it?
Yeah.
And exactly. He probably never will.
Yeah.
He likes it and he's like, that's it. I don't need to explore anymore. I found a thing I like.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, exactly. So, but it's
most people aren't going to go, I need something new. Oh, Turkish coffee?
Yeah.
That's what I need.
It was good. I actually, after I tried it, I was a little intrigued. but
Clearly not enough for you to ever
not
do it
enough
again.
to not enough to buy
So
it. Yeah,
I feel like that says more than anything.
that's true. That's true.
Wow,
But
that's so unique. Anyway, I'm gonna go get my Keurig
yeah.
coffee.
This guy also plays the accordion really well. So
yeah, I do
again,
remember that.
Very cool guy. Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Shout outs to him, but yeah, I'm not gonna say last
Shout
name.
out to
obviously.
you, Nick.
Nick, if you hear this.
And we also enjoy you, Bob.
Oh yeah, and here's to you, Steve. Just
some-
started yelling out
I-
random names.
just to note, like, because like, if our friend had a very unique name,
Yeah.
or someone we knew, then maybe we'd be less privy to
even say the
yeah,
first
to
name.
say it at all. But when somebody has a first name like Nick, it's like, I mean, how many Nicks would be in the city? Probably at least hundreds.
Yeah.
Right? Is there like 100 Nicks wandering around Sarnia
Oh,
at least?
probably. Yeah. If there was like someone we knew named like Bobbery or like something very
I know
like,
3 Nicks. I know like 3 or 4 Nicks right off the top of my head. So
I know more than that.
oh my god.
Yeah. I know a lot of Nicks actually.
Now I'm only counting for people around our age. Maybe I've like walked into somebody who's like a dad
Yeah.
whose name is Nick.
I know a lot of Nicks. And
Nick doesn't seem like a dad name though. Maybe it will be in 10 years.
well, every name that's popular now down the road is probably going to be a popular dad
That's
name.
because everybody's being super eclectic now.
Yeah.
They're giving their names like they're giving their kids the weirdest fucking names.
Yeah.
Dude, do you know what we should call our kids?
Braxton.
When we both have kids, we should just call them like Bob and Bill.
Yeah.
And by the time they're adults, they're just gonna have them. They're gonna have the most unique names out of
That's
anybody.
true. That's true. If you pick generic names now, because no one's picking generic names, it will be It will be unique again.
And all these other fucking people are gonna be 35, wandering around going like, "Why did my parents call me Salsa?"
yeah. Or Braxton.
Yeah, or Braxton.
Here's to you, Braxton. If there's a Braxton listening to this, here's to you.
I can't believe some of the shit I've heard that they're
Oh,
that
names?
kids that like they're like, this is the Latin word for justice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I called my kid.
At the end of the day, though, names are one of those things, like, I guess there is no real reason to be traditional with it, but it's like, it's one of those things, like, it's like you can theoretically name your kids a lot of things, so it's the fact that people do get stuck in trends. If you really think about it, it is weird, but it also makes it easier to, like, remember names if it's not too out there, you know?
I think it's practical to have a name that is at least somewhat memorable.
Yeah, but
And I do think you're doing your kid like, okay, great example, like the Kanye thing, like their kids. I think you're doing your kid a little bit of a disservice.
it's North, right?
Yeah, Northwest.
I think that's cool, actually.
It's okay.
Not gonna lie.
Dude, Jamie, do you want your whole life to revolve around like a gimmick? As in, your name is like a mildly
Okay.
humorous, like
I think-
compass joke.
Yeah.
Is that what your whole life boils down to?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well,
Oh,
okay,
like people
Elon
hear-
Musk.
Is that what you want, Jimmy? Though, like people hear your name and they go, "That's kind of funny."
That's kind of funny.
And
Yeah.
it's
well,
just-
what? Like
good.
Elon Musk, like their kids like XAE, like that weird symbol.
Oh,
Like,
I don't like. It's like X third.
at the end of the day, though, that kid never has to work a day in their life
didn't
anyway.
wait, I have to Google though. Wasn't he like forced to change his kid's name or something like that? Because
I don't
so
know.
ridiculous.
I don't know, but they shouldn't need to, because realistically, because you think about names like that are so absurd. A lot of people's concerns would be, well, think about them trying to apply for a job. People would read the resume, think it's not real or something.
But
like,
his dad is Elon
but
fucking
that's
Musk.
the thing. So this kid, is it a girl or a boy?
I actually have no idea.
I don't either. But anyway, this kid, they're not going to have to work a day in their life anyway because their dad is Elon Musk.
Well, that's actually very debatable because a lot of people that are wealthy and successful are actually pretty hard on their kids.
Sure.
A great example is Warren Buffett.
But he at the very least will probably be able to ease into his dad's company and be a head up person
one
there.
thing that is a fact is his life going to be easier to find success with?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's the thing. His name doesn't matter. Like, he's not going to have to ever like apply to like McDonald's or anything with that name.
If someone said, do you want to be Warren Buffett's kid? I'd be like, of course I want to fucking be his kid.
Elon could give him $1 billion and it would barely make a dent in his money, and that kid would be well off for the rest of his life.
Well, yes and no, because Elon Musk doesn't have $1 billion lying around that he can just immediately spend. They're all tied up in businesses and stock value.
I'm sure at the very least he has a bit of expendable if he has that much in assets. I would say he's definitely...
Jamie, view it this way,
Yeah.
okay? Because a little bit recently, like maybe a couple months ago, for a little bit, Elon Musk was the richest man in the world.
Yeah.
How much do you think that actually affected him?
I don't know. Quantified by what? Like I don't
Meaning
know.
that
At a certain point,
he
he
had
definitely
he
doesn't.
had a net worth purely evaluated by the value of his Tesla stocks
Right.
because the stock was so high. Is Elon ever going to sell his stocks in his own company, Tesla?
No.
No. So, oh, wait, by the way,
Yeah.
close. There you go.
Oh,
A little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
closer.
Yeah.
So he's never going to sell those stocks. So for him, realistically, whether Tesla, like, it's great to have net worth, but whether that's his stock is worth 900, 700, and the difference between him being the richest man in the world or not is it's stock. It's stock value, which he's not going to sell anyway.
Sure, but it's still a testament to how much his company has even made. So he definitely still has quite a bit of spending money. Like, I understand he doesn't literally just have that long in his bank. I get how it works.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. Elon Musk is
he's
obviously rich.
He still theoretically give his son tons of money and it wouldn't really phase him. He does have quite a bit of spending money, I'm sure.
How about this? Is he would never, ever give his kid $1 billion for, like, several different reasons. Because of taxes, the fines, and all the bullshit that would come with it.
Probably not. But I'm just saying, theoretically, I definitely know that kid probably is going to just be able to assimilate into the company pretty easily and won't really matter what his name is or her.
You know,
is it a he or her?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Somebody tell us. Look up X Ash Third or whatever.
Should have went to the Elon
and leave
Musk
us in the comments.
gender reveal party.
I know.
He shoots a rocket into space and like either pink or blue smoke comes out of the rocket.
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't know.
That would have been pretty cool.
I
wish I was there.
And somehow it would kill thousands.
Causes like a rainfall that kills a tribe on an island somewhere.
You notice that's like a trend, actually. Like, there's a statistic now that like more people die every year of gender reveal parties going wrong than of shark attacks.
Oh yeah, I heard about
that's
that.
That's like
meme.
a real statistic.
Yeah.
Because like somehow people always use explosives and stuff, and like there's actually a big statistic of people getting hurt and dying at gender reveal parties.
Jamie, I would argue that almost everything is more likely to kill you than shark attacks. Because day-to-day life can theoretically kill you at any time. The only time a shark can kill you is if you're
with
in
a shark.
an ocean with the shark on a very rare occasion, because sharks historically don't just randomly
That's
go
true.
like, I'm going to go in the shallow water and just fuck this guy up.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Comparing anything to a shark attack is kind of sensationalism because they actually have a very low kill rate, basically. They don't actually kill many people a year. So that actually is kind of just sensationalism because it sounds crazy on paper to be like, compared to shark attacks, but there actually aren't that many anyway.
It's not even, for a shark, is it really even practical to go into the shallow waters and hunt us down? Like, it's just,
yeah.
I feel like they already have a good thing going in the deep blue sea. Like, why do they have to like waste their time to go fuck around with us?
Yeah, that's true.
They still do sometimes, but it's not like, oh no, there's sharks, you're gonna get attacked.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a fin over there, he's coming.
Dude,
and he's coming to fuck you up.
Dude, the ocean's actually really scary.
Oh, dude, I don't like the ocean.
I've always thought a big fear of mine is like, I was on a cruise ship once, and I still remember, like, for the most part, I kind of was just enjoying it and just having a good time. But every now and then I would just look out in the ocean. I'm like, I'm literally in the middle of the ocean right now. I'm like, this is kind of like scary. And I would like look out every now and then, and I was like, like, if I just fell off, like, what would happen? Would they notice on a cruise ship? Like, are they going to stop the cruise ship and come get me? Like, do they have sensors?
Somebody would probably notice.
Do they have sensors on the side of the boats or something?
True.
Like, you know?
Dude,
how many people fall off cruise ships and they don't notice?
Do you know what fucked me up was 1,000 Ways to Die?
Because
there was an episode about, there's a parasite in the ocean that, so there's a guy peeing, and he... I don't even know how to describe it. It's terrifying. I don't like the premise.
I know where you're going.
Basically, he was peeing, and this parasite went up his urethra.
Yeah.
And like into his balls and killed him.
Oh yeah.
Like, my God. And I'm like, and that's just an ocean parasite that just went up there.
I've actually heard that. In the Amazon, there's specifically a parasite in some waters where they literally say, don't pee when you're in this water, because that's actually more common than you think.
Now, to be fair, that's the like Amazon rivers. But,
yeah.
But dude, the ocean's fucking awful too. There's all sorts of crazy shit.
This is only
there.
something like jungle kids have to deal with. Nothing that.
Oh God.
But no, yeah, exactly. It's yeah, that'd be horrible. But I don't know, man. Like, that's scary, but just the ocean alone is terrifying. And you know those like really deep trench fish. What are those?
Yeah.
You know, anglerfish. You know those really
of course.
terrifying looking
I've
ones.
watched Finding Nemo.
Right. So yeah, those things. So I actually read something recently about those that scared the shit out of me.
Dude, now keep in mind though, they are so deep sea.
Yeah.
You'll never see them.
Yeah, because our bodies would
we would
collapse
be
under
dead.
the pressure.
Yeah, we would die.
And I don't even think submarines can really go that deep.
There is a submarine. I think there's a submarine that can go all the way to the bottom.
Not all the way. I don't think humans are there yet.
I thought we did. I'm actually pretty sure we did.
They can go
Didn't
really
Kurt Sagat
deep.
make a video about that?
I don't know. Maybe. I just know this is a thing I've heard my whole life. Maybe this isn't true, but I've always heard we know more about space than we do our own oceans because it's so hard to actually get deep into the ocean. Maybe modern science is better now. I don't know.
In terms of practicality, I would agree with that because
They could
at
probably
that
send
point,
drones. They probably can send like drones or something down there, but I
Yeah.
don't think humans and submarines go that
Well,
deep.
the reason we probably
There's
know
too
more,
much risk.
Yeah, the
involved.
reason we probably know more about space is because at least with something like the Hubble telescope, they can hone an image and then hold it there for years,
Yeah.
and eventually start to see a lot.
Yeah.
While in the ocean, it's so dark and there's such a strong absence of light
Yeah.
that even if there is, because I'm pretty sure they have gone to the deepest point.
Really?
But how much do you really
But
see?
did they send humans, or was it probably more of a mechanical
Yeah, good
thing?
question.
They sent
I don't
down
know
there?
if there's one
I
in
don't.
there, but-
It's too much. I think it'd be way too risky to send a human.
But I
down
mean,
there.
how much do you really see? It's
Yeah.
so dark. You probably see fuck all. You probably just get to the bottom and you're like, this is it. Let's go back.
Dude, that's so scary to me. Like just picturing the deep black trenches of the ocean. Like, dude, that's scary as fuck.
Dude, it is very possible that there's definitely probably some like fucking crazy fish we've never seen before.
Oh, absolutely.
Like some huge
They-
behemoth hunter
they
predators in the deep
discover
sea.
they discover new species of fish like all the time. Like they're always discovering new shit in the ocean.
It's pretty awesome.
So it's scary. But okay, on the topic of anglerfish though, the thing I wanted to say that I just read about that really scared the shit out of me because I'm like, that is just disgusting. Apparently anglerfish, when they mate, basically
Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to know. About
I know.
that.
So basically the guy will like latch onto the girl or something, and then she like absorbs his nutrients. So the girl literally has like a growth of the guy like on her, and she just absorbs when he dies, and that's how they give birth. And then like it's like
why do males get the short end of the stick?
Like in nature
a lot
all
of the
the
time in
time?
the animal kingdom.
yeah. I know.
It's fucked up.
It really is. But yeah, that disturbed me. I was like, man, like come on.
Poor male just is like, well, I guess I'm gonna do my job.
Yeah.
So take my essence. Take
Just
like
take my essence.
just suck me dry.
And that's how our life is too. Just kidding.
Am I right?
Am I right? man?
Anglerfish sounds like my ex-wife.
Yeah. Sounds like my cheating ex-girlfriend. Yeah.
If only we were more boomer, Jamie. We would have went right to that immediately.
Yeah. Oh, and-
Sounds like something else.
yeah. And
That-
what are those praying mantises too?
Oh, that one's fucked.
The girls kill them right after having sex.
Well, yeah, and the spiders, they like a lot of the
They
male and
eat the
female,
male.
they eat them.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually a lot. Actually, if you didn't know, a lot of species like tarantulas, it's actually a potential likelihood. Like they'll have sex, and then sometimes afterwards, a female will just be like, "I'm just gonna fucking eat you,"
Yeah.
because they're hungry. Like
They
they're just
need-
like, "Oh,
and-
that took energy. I'm gonna eat you now."
Yeah.
But sometimes the male will actually survive.
Like
do it-
survive being eaten? How do you
no,
do that?
like they'll get away before they
Oh.
eat them.
Yeah.
It's actually hilarious because I watched this video.
What a deadbeat dad, just taken off.
I know, just
Not-
immediately hit it and quit it, huh?
Hit it and quit it. He's just off.
Of course, your father left.
Yeah, what a deadbeat.
So-
So he won't even stick around to be eaten. What
Jim,
an
you
asshole.
gotta check out Exotic Layers. It's a YouTube channel, and he owns like 100 tarantulas,
Mm-hmm.
and he just like feeds them and shit. And it's so funny because he has some videos of them like mating, and it's not even, it's very basic. Like they just, I don't even know what they do.
Yeah.
but it's
Is
so
it,
funny.
This is on Pornhub, right?
Oh yeah, it's Pornhub for sure. It's
Yeah.
way too inappropriate. But you can actually see that the male is being cautious.
Yeah.
While he's approaching the female, it's
Ooh.
almost like he's being overwhelmed by his natural instinct to procreate, but
Yeah.
he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Fuck! If I do this, I'm probably gonna die, but I gotta do it. So let's
Ooh.
just do this."
The stakes are high.
I know
This raw
It looks
sexual
terrifying.
energy.
and it actually is a whole thing where like the male's like super careful about approaching them and everything.
Wow. Jesus.
So, well, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
How would you feel if like you were like trying to mate with a girl and she's like 6'5" and
trying
like
to kill me.
280 pounds and pissed off. Like,
I
you
don't know.
just be like, all right, let's be careful about this.
Dude, that's kind of hot. I don't know. I just can't-
Let's fucking take our time here.
Oh, yeah. The risk and the reward.
I still want to do it. I just I need time.
They're just into like BDSM, like spiders. They're all like, oh yeah.
But they don't have any morals. They don't care about repercussions. If you accidentally get your head chopped off, what does it mean to them?
Yeah. Is this this is spiders you were talking about, like tarantulas?
It's a YouTube channel called Exotic Layers.
Okay.
It's actually fascinating because I would say like I had like a certain degree of fear about spiders, but now I've kind of lost it
Yeah.
because I was just watching lots of videos about them, and I think it's actually super interesting. Do you know what's kind of sad
Yeah.
is they can't handle falls.
Oh, okay.
Tarantulas, if you drop them like more than a foot, they die.
Really?
Yes.
Because I know most bugs, I guess it's because of the velocity of their weight and everything.
They are tendons and liquid. That's it. So when they hit the ground, basically their entire body weight like goes to the bottom of their carapace, and they just
God.
get fucking smushed.
So they're just big water balloons.
Basically. And
Dude.
yeah, it's like a water balloon. When you just drop a water balloon and it shatters, that would be like a spider.
Oh,
It
dude.
just hits the ground and fucking dies.
Dude, real Neighbours idea for a video. Let's have a tarantula water balloon fight.
No, that's terrible.
Just kidding.
Oh God,
That's cruel as hell.
But that's why people, if they have a tarantula and you're being really, if you're gonna freak out, they just prefer you don't hold it.
yeah.
So you'd actually flick it off and kill it.
Right. Yeah. Would you ever own like a pet tarantula?
Only a New World. There's actually two different types. I
Yeah?
can't get into it too much because we're running out of time.
Okay.
But basically, Old World, the poison is way worse.
Well,
we're
don't-
talking like months of lingering
Don't
effects.
is it venomize? Venom is when they bite you. Yeah, venom is when they can inject poison into you, so it would be venom. I just know there's a difference between poisonous and venomous. 'Cause I know-
Maybe it would probably cost a lot of money
Yeah.
to get a procedure like that done.
I
Like,
know. No, I'm almost certain. Like most tarantulas at pet stores, they've been devenomized because like it's a liability for the pet store to sell you something.
and not
with
only
poison.
that though, New Worlds aren't that bad though. Old Worlds, which
Oh,
Old
like-
World means like from the east, like in Europe and stuff like that.
Like they won't kill you if
No,
you were,
the Old World won't kill you, but the poison will stay in your body for months.
and it'll make you sick and stuff.
Yeah, just like give you nausea and like uncomfortable and fever for like a long periods of time. The guy on Exotic Layers does it. You should check it out. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dude, we're out of time.
Okay. Well, yeah. Send
So
me the
guys,
link for
I
that.
would
That sounds
highly
sick.
recommend check out some tarantula videos.
Yeah.
They're actually pretty satisfying. I don't
That's
know.
cool. Actually, before we leave, I do have one quick thing on this topic that's
Do it,
interesting.
Jimmy, do it.
I had a friend who had a bottle of tequila from Mexico, and usually there's a worm in it, but this one had a scorpion in it for some reason.
Oh my God.
And so we drank this liquor, and at the very bottom, I don't know if this is true, but they told me they don't devenomize these scorpions. So they said the alcohol just dilutes all of it. And basically, if you alone drank the whole bottle, you'd probably get really sick because of venom. But if you just have a bit, it's not actually harmful for you
Yeah.
because it's so diluted in the alcohol. So you would probably get sick aside just from drinking the whole bottle anyway. But the fact there's venom in it would make you more sick. But anyway, we got to the bottom of it, and they were like, "Do you guys want to like eat a little piece of this scorpion?" And just like we were all just drunk, being dumb, and I was like, "You know what? Like, give me a pincer."
Hell yeah,
I
give
was
it
like,
to me,
"Give
yeah.
me a pincer." So we all kind of broke it off, and I remember eating a scorpion pincer, and it was. I mean, I can't say it was good, but it was just one of those like, you know what? When in Rome, like I might as well give it a shot.
That's pretty badass.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. I ate like a little pincer, but
Are you going to sign up for Survivor next season or what?
I
Let's go.
should. I really should.
You're already there.
Is that still a thing? Fear Factor
Good
with
question.
Joe Rogan?
I actually have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
Guys, go look this up for us. Leave a bunch of things in the comments, but everything we got wrong today.
Yeah. As
Like,
always,
yeah,
probably
right?
tons.
Maybe like a quick essay would be good. So
Yeah. All right. Well, yes. Thanks for listening, everyone.
And see you later.
Yeah. Take care, y'all.